New Earth is within. New Earth is now. We are remembering the highest consciousness timelines in our hearts. We are awakening from the dream of separation, duality, lifting the heavy veils of the subconscious realms. We stand as love, unity, compassion. We consciously choose to put our own energy, resources, skills, knowledge into the new, reshaping humanity, reforming reality. We are the new educational, cultural, social, economical, financial systems for the new earth. It's time to unite as love, as one.
Beautiful beings of light. I'm so happy to have you in this space today, and I have a special announcement to make. I'm extremely excited because today I'm starting an amazing collaboration with Conscious Vitality, which is an amazing platform that is promoting evolution of consciousness and ascension and freedom and authenticity and the full expression of who we truly are in our being. And I'm very happy to be joining this platform because for a very long time I would, many of you that are following me and know who I am and, watching my evolution and, how I evolved and continue following me. I'm always very selective with who I'm collaborating and with whom I'm, inviting in my energetic field. And I want to say that Conscious Vitality, what represents for me, it's like a breath of fresh air, because for a very long time I was calling in, a platform where we can speak in freedom and we can stay in our truth and our authenticity, where we are not censored, and where we can express and bring together conscious creators and thought leaders and new earth leaders and agents of change and amazing beings that are here to express themselves, to share their teachings, to bring value into this world, and to co-create a global community that is unlimited and has a very high potential. And I would like to introduce you not only this platform and my excitement in joining it, but the fact that I'm going to have a show on this platform, which is going to be extremely exciting. And I know many of you are looking for this. You are looking to see me live, and you're looking to receive more resources and information and more excitement and happiness and playfulness, and also receiving advanced teachings about ascension. So I'm going to have a show that is going to be launched very, very, very soon on the 6th of February, and more details will follow soon. But until then, I have with me today an incredible special guest that I want to introduce you. And he's the co-founder of Conscious Vitality, Mr. Erai Beckmann. Hello, Erai. Thank you for being here with us today. And thank you for creating this amazing, inspirational platform with so many incredible leaders that are already expressing and teaching and collaborating and creating a network of private, conscious co-creators. So tell us more about Conscious Vitality, what Conscious Vitality actually is.
Well, thank you very much, Livia, for having me on. And I'm so excited that you're joining the platform. And I want to start off by telling everyone I'm a co-founder, and my lovely wife, Erai Beckmann, couldn't be here today, but she's the other co-founder. And without her, none of this would be possible. So thank you. And so Conscious Vitality is a platform that brings together content creators and really empowers the content creators. So most of us used Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube to get started on social media, and that's great. I'm so grateful that those solutions existed initially, because it really showed us the power that we have as a community of humanity to come together. However, as most people have seen over the last 2 years, the people that ultimately control those platforms can really filter and channel, if you will, or control the information that's seen, the information that's heard, and the people that really rise up in those platforms. They can actually even go so far as to turn people off or limit their reach or even delete them altogether. And that wasn't something that resonated with my wife and I, Kailea. So what we did about a year and a half ago was we decided to start fundamentally rethinking everything about social media, about live interactive interviews like this, Livia, and how to empower content creators. First and foremost, that was our goal. And so we realized that we wanted to actually build a platform in partnership with content creators. No longer are we like we don't need the overlord tech groups anymore controlling our lives, and hopefully they allow us to remain on their platforms. No, we need a co-creative, collaborative, empowering, thriving platform for all of humanity. We need a conscious platform. And so that's what Conscious Vitality is. It's a platform that invests in content creators like Livia. It empowers content creators like Livia by sharing a percentage of all the proceeds that come in from Conscious Vitality. And most importantly, it protects content creators like Livia in that it's uncensored. So Livia never has to worry about an algorithm limiting her reach, about her content getting deleted, about her being banned and removed, or about her losing you, her community. And over the last year and a half, actually secretly behind the scenes, we're only starting to talk about it right now. My wife and I had our own divine inspiration to actually build the world's first ever uncensored platform entirely on the blockchain. And the blockchain, I'm sure everyone watching this has heard about the blockchain. Some people are more familiar, some people are less familiar, but essentially what we have built here at Conscious Vitality, which hopefully, God willing, we will launch to the public in March or April of this year, should fundamentally change the world forever, because we have taken back the power from big tech, back the power from governments, and we are creating a platform where it will quite literally be uncensorable, unhackable. It will no longer need the banking systems anymore at all. They can't decide what we can and cannot sell. They can't decide what solutions we can or cannot have. They can't decide for some reason, arbitrarily, that they disagree with Livia's opinions on politics or health and vitality and freeze her bank accounts. It won't be an option any longer. And so what's amazing is that the technological advancements that so many amazing beings are having all over the world is actually going to free us. Technology is our bridge now to higher levels of consciousness and freedom. As weird as that is, it's happening. And at Conscious Vitality, it's happening right now this year. So essentially at Conscious Vitality, you guys will be able to watch Livia's shows. She'll have live interactive shows. She'll have some shows that are pre-recorded. We have our own social media network where instead of using Facebook and getting limited or censored or ultimately supporting a tool that I personally don't believe is in your best interest, but that's your own decision to make for yourself. You no longer have to use that any longer. You can still chat and interact with Livia, and you'll be able to watch the replays from her show. And most importantly, we'll be able to talk about the things that you guys want to talk about. You'll be able to share the solutions that you want to talk about. Your data will never be ever compromised. We won't ever look into who you are, where you live, what you're doing, what you're up to. And best of all, big government, big tech, anyone won't be able to actually come into our platform and look into any of that as well. So for really the first time in our human history, we will have an opportunity to experience the power collectively of humanity and us all being able to come together without any degree of censorship. Because, as most of us discovered the last 2 years, hey, there's censorship, but we didn't realize how much there was minutely working its way throughout the background through AI bots and, limiting our messages or the discoveries that were happening or the events that were happening or the protests that were happening, because we never even saw them in the first place. So we're a lot more powerful than we've ever realized. In fact, we've been being a lot more powerful than we've ever realized. We just haven't been able to see it, but that's all going to change this year with Conscious Vitality. So I'm so excited for Livia's show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Erai. That's so beautiful. And, I was, from the very first moment I met you and we had our first conversation and I heard about your journey, I was so inspired, how you have received this download of creating Conscious Vitality and how all the funds actually that came in this project were, you invested your own money for creating this platform, which is incredible. And I would like to ask you, how did you receive this inspiration? How did you bridge your old life with a new life? What was the turning point that made you create this platform? I think this will be very interesting for our audience to know.
Yeah, thank you for that. So first of all, I take no credit whatsoever. Everything, belongs to the divine, and that can mean whatever it needs to mean for you watching this, listening to this, your own definition of the divine. For me, my wife and I are devotees of Paramahansa Yogananda. We practice something called Kriya Yoga. And so what he explains to us is that we are super powerful creators, each and every one of us. We have the ability to manifest and create the same energy that's creating universes, Yogananda explains to us, is flowing through us. So I'm not special. I'm just like you. And I take no credit for what came through. All I've simply done over the years is ask myself about problems and things that I can see are happening in the world, and ask my higher self, what are the solutions? What could those look like? I simply ask the question. I try to surrender so as to not create any resistance, and boom, a solution comes through. A year and a half ago, I saw the censorship happening, and I said, well, what could we do to prevent that? It seems overwhelming. It seems impossible. There's nothing we could do. What does that even look like? And my intuition, my higher self said, blockchain. You have to build a Facebook, a Twitter and Instagram, a YouTube, a Netflix for consciousness. The world deserves a global conscious media company for the first time ever, and it needs to be built on the blockchain. And I said, oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay, well then, okay, I'll start looking into that. We started looking into it. One inspired thought leads to a totally serendipitous, perfectly amazing interaction with someone that might have a solution. Maybe it doesn't turn out to be the ultimate solution, but you keep pursuing that joy and bliss of inspired action. And eventually you meet the right people and you come up with a way to have the resources, because it was really important to us that we invested our own money in this. I didn't want some check from some private equity group, it turns out is funded by a 3-letter agency on behalf of a government that is malicious. I wanted this to be free for the people. And I believed in the power of abundance, that we would come up with the resources that we needed for ourselves. That's it, period. We don't need them in any longer. And so the blockchain development project started. But then at one point, a thought entered my mind, well, wait a minute, if we actually have a completely uncensorable platform, a totally unhackable platform, so that our friends can share whatever they want on whatever topic they want. I said, what's to stop, the thought came into my mind. It said, what's to stop people from getting censored financially? Mm-hmm. And then I went, oh yeah, because if they get censored financially, they could still get shut down. Their work could still stop, because whilst people are still, unfortunately, it is what it is, participating in this delusive economic, limited, scarce resources paradigm, which isn't real. I know to you, Livia, or to me, or probably to most of your audience watching this, I know it's not real to you guys, but it's something we incarnated into right now, probably for the opportunity to help evolve it, right? But whilst people are still participating in this paradigm, they need to pay their bills. And so luckily, at the same time this inspiration came through to build the world's first ever platform of its kind like this on the blockchain, the inspired thought came through to also create our own Bitcoin, our own Ethereum, our own digital blockchain cryptocurrency for the freedom of humanity, for the empowerment of humanity. Because if we have the platform where the messaging can't be censored, and we have the monetary system that we can use ourselves through this platform that can't be censored, well, hey, maybe we could truly be free. And that way, if a government or a big tech or a politician, or perhaps a super, someone who's very, very wealthy, who has a difference of opinion with you, wishes to shut you down and freeze your funds in your bank account, they literally will not be able to ever again. And what's really interesting, Livia, is I know you're familiar with some of the people that, and we don't have to name their names, but you and I both know some influencers this has happened to, right? Like that we know people that have been shut down from Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And about a year into our journey of pursuing the actual development and creation of these solutions, I finally spoke with 2 months ago some influencers in Australia. They are the nicest people ever. They're not, they're the epitome of living a conscious life. They're building conscious communities. They genuinely, sincerely do actual work on themselves. They inspire hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. However, when the mandates were coming out, they were saying these really ridiculous ideas like maybe people should have the freedom of right to choose for themselves what they want to do with their own bodies. I know that's a crazy thought in 2022. However, their funds were frozen in their bank accounts by the Australian government, because the Australian government didn't agree with what they were posting on social media, that they stood up for freedom of choice. It's crazy, right? Wow. But that's what was happening. And so when I'd spoken to them, I was like, with my higher self, the conversation went something like, I was like, wow, you were really right. And it was like, yeah, this is coming. And hopefully it won't come anymore. However, by creating the solutions, that prevent this from even being an option in the future. We take back our power. We cut the legs right out from under those that would choose perhaps to be malicious oppressors. We fly right over their entire game as if we don't even have to interact with it in the first place because we don't need them. And ironically, these technological solutions are really going to be a platform for freedom for us. So that's why the inspirations came through. That's sort of what we've been building. And this is kind of how we're already recognizing the need for them is already starting to manifest. But these people, God bless them, they don't even realize who they're dealing with. They don't realize how powerful we are. They don't realize how infinite you are watching this. They don't realize how easily inspired you are. Their whole game has been distract with fear to control. And we're no longer needing to play into their game anymore. So we're just going to gently, lovingly fly above it. We're going to gracefully receive all the divine inspiration we need. And we're going to build a new earth like I know you're all about. And I'm so excited. By the way, how cool is your trailer? Don't you love the trailer?
I love the trailer very, very much, and can't wait, to share it with the following and my audience and all the beautiful beings that are watching us. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Erai Beckmann will be our first guest. He's going to break the ice and open the newer series in our first episode. So if you want to join us and to hear more that Erai has to share, it's going to be an amazing conversation, and we are going deep into all areas of evolution of consciousness, but also learning more about conscious vitality, learning more about Erai's journey. And I'm super excited to having you all on the 6th of February at 12 p.m. CST. We'll put more information down below. And yay, thank you so much, Erai, for being here with us today. And I'm so much looking forward to joining the platform and co-creating with you. It's going to be so much fun.
You're very welcome, Livia. It's my pleasure. I can't wait to be there in person physically with you in Costa Rica on the 6th. And for everyone watching, pay attention to the next 3.5 minutes you're going to see when Livia and I finish here, because you will have a chance to watch the trailer of really what the blockchain means, what the new cryptocurrency that's coming out, Zagkiel, means, how it'll work. And in our next episode, I'm also hopefully going to be sharing with Livia how I've observed that blockchain will actually free humanity, how it's impossible to stop, how it will represent more abundance than we could ever possibly imagine. And I think you'll enjoy watching it. So I look forward to it, Livia.
Woohoo, thank you so much. Looking forward. See you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
If the self-discipline of the free cannot match the iron discipline of the mailed fist in economic, political, scientific, and all the other kinds of struggle, as well as the military, then the peril to freedom will continue to rise.
In light of any emergency, your personal autonomy, your religious freedom, and honestly your freedom as a whole becomes negotiable to whoever's in power or whoever agrees with the people in power.
For some reason, we seem to be losing as a country an appreciation for diversity in intellectual thought.
Imagine a world where humanity was able to share its voice without censorship.
Does Twitter censor the content of its users?
Absolutely not.
They can just eviscerate you, from their platform, and you don't have any rights in that situation.
Free speech is the mechanism by which we keep our society functioning.
And without big corporate influence.
They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous.
You have no choice. You have owners. They own you.
Now is the time to take back our freedom. Freedom of truth, speech, health, evolution, consciousness, and discovery. We have a plan to save the world, to save humanity. What if there was a platform for freedom? A platform for all voices, and a platform for unity. Unhackable, uncensored. This signal can't be stopped. Just imagine the possibilities for the world. Because together, we win. Welcome to Conscious Vitality, the first ever blockchain platform designed for the freedom of humanity and backed by our very own digital token economy, a new type of currency designed to empower contributors with true freedom of speech. Zadkill. As the archangel of freedom, of justice, and forgiveness, Zadkill fights against the dark forces to help humanity free itself. And now our new circular economy will help content creators share their voice freely while getting compensated. Members buy Zadkill, use it on the Conscious Vitality blockchain platform, and creators receive Zadkill. The more it's used, the higher the value, and the more freedom of speech thrives. Could this be the plan to save the world? It's one of them. Expand your consciousness. Awaken your vitality. Freedom of information and all of the abundance that will come from us is truly uniting. Start your journey today.